Hello folks, welcome to this series of AWS where we are learning about multiple components related services of EC2. In this particular video, we are going to talk about elastic block storage. Now what is elastic block storage? To put it simply, elastic block storage are the storage volumes that you can attach to a particular EC2 instance, and in that case it will work as your hard drive associated with your server. So on a EBS volume, you can install an application, you can put down your operating system, use it as a boot volume, and do whatever you do on your internal hard disks. So if you remember, when we talked about EC2 instance types, we said that instance type basically tells you what is the CPU capacity, what is the RAM capacity, what is the network capacity. But what about storage capacity? Now, storage capacity is provided by EBS volumes, which are attached to a particular EC2 instance. To start with, any EC2 instance needs some storage volume where it can install its own operating system, which it can use as its root volume. There you will need an EBS volume. This kind of volumes where a basic AMI is installed, that is called root volume. Now other than root volume, you can attach an EBS volume which is created independently. So you can create independently an EBS volume, attach to a particular EC2 instance, use it with that EC2 instance. All your data will go to that storage volume, and later on you can detach it from one EC2 instance, attach to another EC2 instance, and your data will transfer along with the EBS volume. So this is equivalent to how you have an external hard disk, you attach to your laptop, copy the data, detach it and attach it to another laptop, and you use that data on that other laptop. So these extra EBS volumes works as an external hard disk. So basically EBS volume you can use as a root volume as well as an external volume, which is detachable from one EC2 instance and can be attached to another EC2 instance. But keep it in mind that one EBS volume at one time can remain attached to only one EC2 instance. If you have to attach it to another EC2 instance, another server, then you have to first detach it from the previous EC2 instance. And we'll see how to do that in our lab session. Now to compare this block storage volume from other storage options, for example object storage, which is provided by S3 service, block storage are different in a sense that you can change the file system underlying it. So it's a basic and raw storage volume that you get. So if you want to change the file system, you can format the volume, you can put your own file system. On this space you can install an application, you can install for example a database, or you can install your own AMI and use it as a root volume. This you cannot do in object-based storage, for example S3 etc. Now about the other features like durability and availability. So EBS volume is quite durable. As soon as you upload some data on EBS volume, as soon as you put some data on EBS volume, it gets replicated across multiple devices but within the same availability zone. So you have to keep that in mind, that your data would remain available even if there are disk failures, and AWS will manage all of that. But if the availability zone or that particular data center itself fails, then you may lose your data. And that is why you have to keep your data properly backed up on some S3 instance or using some other services. So basically AWS makes sure that whenever you put your data on the EBS volumes, this would be safe within that availability zone. But suppose if some disaster strikes the availability zone itself, then you might lose access to your data. So AWS makes sure that your data is safe within that availability zone. It is safe from any hard disk failure or a device failure within that availability zone. But having said that, you need to have a proper backup mechanism. So for that, in fact, there is a term called snapshot. You must have heard about that. But here in EBS volumes, you can directly convert the data which is there stored on that storage volume into something called a snapshot, and it's just one click operation. So to reiterate, EBS volumes are created within an availability zone and they can be attached at one time to a single EC2 instance. You cannot attach one EBS volume to multiple instances at the same time. If you want that kind of use, you better use elastic file storage, EFS. We'll talk about that service in some later section. Now again, EBS volumes can be created as a part of your launching EC2 instance. There itself you get an option to create an EBS volume, or you can create EBS volume separately and then attach to an already existing EC2 instance. So let's go to the console and see how to create a EBS volume. So right now I am on my EC2 dashboard, and here you can see that I am using 3 volumes as of now. Basically, if you go to instances, you can see that I have got 3 instances here. Now those 3 volumes are with respect to these 3 instances. So if you go to the volume section here, you can see these 3 volumes. Each volume here in our case is 8 GB of size. The volume type is general purpose version 2. This is where it shows that what is the capacity of it in terms of input output. So this is input output per second, IUPS 100 to 3000. This is a snapshot associated with that. We'll talk about that later. Creation date, availability zone in which it exists, state. So all of them are connected to some or other EC2 instance, so they are already in use. And these are the instance IDs to which they are attached. Volume status is okay. You can encrypt your EBS volumes, but you cannot encrypt your root volume, at least not by using AWS. Now one more thing to keep in mind is that your EBS volume and the EC2 instance to which you are going to attach it, they have to be in the same availability zone. So if they are not in the same availability zone, you have to first convert it into a snapshot and then restore it into another availability zone. Again, talk about that when we go and see how to deal with the snapshot, etc. So that's all in this section. In the next session of EBS volume, we are going to see that what are the various types of EBS volume, what are the use cases for that, and how to create a volume and attach them to an existing EC2 instance. So see you soon in the next video.